Priscilla. So I'll be giving you guys the tour, and then following the tour, the horse demo will be going on. So you guys are more than welcome to stay for that. That's kind of where we'll end the tour.
Okay.
And throughout the tour, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Is this everybody's first time to Horse Haven?
No, our second.
Yes. Your second? You guys first? Fantastic. So we'll start walking this way. We're gonna do a loop around and kind of get to meet and greet some of the horses as we go. So this facility has been here since 2020. Before we had headquarters here, it was actually down by the pigs. So the pigs and the goats and the horses used to all be down there. Now that we have this facility, we've actually been able to up the capacity on the horses. We've also built a very awesome vet room in here. One of my favorite quotes is from the late founder of Faith, who said, "A horse is not a chihuahua." So we have a really large vet room here, which is just separate from the clinic that's up that typically handles all the cats and dogs and other small animals. So we have 2 stalls in there, so if there's any horses that need to stay in there for some longer vet care, they're able to stay inside. We kind of use that area for all sorts of things. Last year we had a goat give a surprise baby, and so her and her baby lived in there for a little while during the winter time. As we go around here, we're going to do a loop around our arena. Before we had the arena up here, all of our trainers actually just worked outside under the sun and the snow and the rain. But now that we have this facility up here, we're able to have our trainers undercover, which they are very excited about as we enter the season.
How long have you been in this new facility?
2020.
So this is
Yeah,
30.
yeah, yep.
Okay. Yeah. It was
This used to just be the rye field, so it was just a large pasture where the horses were. So this horse right here, we won't get too close to the fence. This is Mr. Brussels Sprouts. Brussels Sprouts has been here since Saturday. He is a Mustang, so he was actually born in the wild. He was a part of an in-hand Mustang challenge that they do in southern Utah, where they get the horses from the holding pens to help try to get them adopted. They do some training with them. His trainer, they just weren't quite clicking, so now he's here working with Anne, who is our head trainer here, and she specializes in all these little Mustangs, so we're pretty excited about him. He's cute as a button.
He is. His coloring is so cute.
And he is a youngster. He's, we figure, between 2 and 3. So he's figuring the ropes out. Looks like Christian over here has Bug out. You guys saw Bug on the slideshow. So the reason we call her Bug, and Bonnie had a great experience this, when Bug first arrived, she was covered in bugs.
Oh, no.
So she had lice and all sorts of things going on. Okay. And Bug was actually attacked by a pack of dogs, which is why she arrived here. She has some pretty severe scarring on her nose and her butt from being attacked. So whatever home she goes into, we just recommend no dogs. But she is in her riding program, so Christian's been riding her.
Oh yeah, because she would probably be very scared of it.
She's cute. You'll notice as we walk around here, we've got the corrals set up around the arena. Horses are prone to always trying to injure themselves. So the way this is set up, we're able to see the horses, especially our trainers. While we're out here mucking, we're able to keep an eye on the horses. You can see they are just finishing their breakfast. We feed our horses AM and PM hay. We do have horses here that we call our mushers, so they actually don't get any hay. They're just on soaked pellets and a lot of other feed.
Why would they be
lacking teeth, old.
Can't grind it.
Yeah, so but we try to keep them on hay as long as we can because they need that forage through their stomach. And this is Ajax and Tangle and their buddy Lumpy. Lumpy is a recent adoption return, so he was adopted out and then recently returned. So he's going back through our training program.
Why does he return?
They said that he started developing a bucking problem, and we actually found him. They had posted him on Facebook for sale. So through our contract here, it's kind of a no-no.
Yeah.
And so we contacted and say, hey, how can we help you? And they said, this horse is a little too much for us, and they ended up bringing Lumpy back to us.
I thought I had heard that the horses are really just companion horses, not most riding horses.
We actually have a little bit of everything. We have a lot of horses
buddy.
that haven't been started
Hi.
yet. We have quite a few horses in our
Checking out
riding
my
program
camera?
and companion horses. So they're not just all older horses. We have a lot of younger horses as well.
Okay, I know him. Are either one of these companion horses?
So they can be companion horses.
No, I know, but I mean strictly companion.
They will eventually start working into the program.
Okay.
But we just have like some horses riding that the trainers can keep up with, and so we just like cycle. So we've had quite a few riding horses adopted out this year. Jax is like, I'm starving. So Morgan here, she is feeding our bulls. So all of our horses get morning bowls. Some horses also get PM bowls.
Don't you dare!
Look at him. He's like, here I go. You guys like to cooperate. So this is a mixture of a lot of different minerals and
Okay,
snacks.
Tango's already there.
And he's reaching.
There you go.
You are not lumpy. You are not so lumpy.
Hello.
As you can see, sometimes it's a little difficult to feed their morning bowl.
Look.
You are lumpy, aren't you? Mixing them up again. It's even worse when there's 3 of them.
I know. This group, they all kind of act the same. We'll continue on.
Come on, lumpy.
We found, since the mix of minerals that we feed, the brand that we feed, we have a lower type of colic issues that we tend to get. So
What do you
we don't
think?
really, it's an ABC mix, so it's a lot of different minerals. Our area, we're selenium lacking, so it has a higher selenium mixture. So this is Lexi. Lexi lives with Bug, who's Christian's in there riding right now. Lexi is also broke to ride. She and Bug were both recent adoption returns. Their owner unfortunately got sick and had to go into a home. So we have them back here, and they're both available for adoption, and Christian's been riding both. They've been doing fantastic. Huh, Lexi?
Breakfast time.
Breakfast time. We always joke because out here in an early morning, you can hear the dogs that they're barking. And horses, it's usually always quiet. Well, until we got our donkeys.
No.
Now they sound the morning alarm and we're like, take that, Dogtown. Now you can hear us from a mile away. So other than that, it's usually very, very quiet here. And that is Shrek, one of our little alarm donkeys.
Yeah.
Ready to become a dirt
Oh, look
bath.
at
Oh
Shrek.
yeah.
Look at rolling.
She goes, oh, that feels so good. Over here, we have Slurpee and Jewel. They're some of our longest residents here at Horse Haven. Slurpee is actually our tallest horse as well. She's 17.2 hands high. A hand is measured in 4 inches. When Jewel arrived, she was actually considered the most dangerous horse that we've had.
Wait, which one's Jewel?
The paint horse over there. She was trying to attack people over the fence. She would try to bite and kick you. Now, through our training program, we actually use her for staff lessons.
Really?
So all of our beginner staff members, they kind of work with her and get to know the horses.
So she's totally turned around.
Yep, absolutely. She does have some hormonal things going on, so she tends to be in heat a lot more than the other mares on the facility. We always joke that she'll flirt with a fence post. So she's actually on a supplement to kind of help regulate her hormones as well. These two over here, this is Bramble and Equinox. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but last fall we got a neglect case in of 20 horses, 2 donkeys, 10 goats, and 1 very, very frisky hair sheep. These two were part of that neglect case. The neglect case had a variety of horses. They had young horses, old horses, horses that have been rode before, horses that were pregnant, and horses that had never been handled before. So these two fall into that category. They're both Mustangs. Sweet little Bramble here We did get a little bit of background on her. A lot of the times when you adopt Mustangs from the holding facility, they offer you the option to get a halter and long line on your horse. So that's what they did with Bramble. But Bramble here is very, very smart, so she kept getting out of it. So they would run her through the chute again and put the halter on her. So after a couple times of that, she actually now has quite a bit of trauma with humans in the haltering process, so we've been taking a very long, patient while to work with these girls. And they're coming around. We're just now starting to be able to put the halters on both of them. They're very food motivated.
Yeah.
Do you have any problem trimming their hooves though?
So we can't do that with them yet.
Okay.
They're not that far in the training process. So that's why we have them in a corral that's not as sandy as the other one to help with the break off of their hooves. But
So are they just in here or they can be out there too?
they can go out there. This
Okay.
is what we call our little catch pen. So when we do the training with them, instead of chasing them all
Yeah.
over the corral, we bring them into a smaller area to work with them. But once that they are able to be handled safely, then we'll start working on picking up their feet, and then they'll be able to get farrier work done.
Why does he have little booties around his
So Slurpee tends to hate flies,
Oh.
so she will actually stomp until her feet are extremely sore.
Oh.
So we have those boots on there to help keep the flies off her legs. But fly season's almost gone, so we've been pulling a lot of fly mass off of our horses lately, which is exciting because we're able to see their faces again. We go all summer without seeing their faces. Now they're starting to get all their winter hair. This group is pretty funny over here. We always say that donkeys kind of liven up the party. Mr. Shrek, he loves to play with his friends. Usually in the afternoon, if he's not taking a nap, he is chasing his friends around and trying to jump all over them. And horses and donkeys and mules, one of their favorite games to play is, I'm gonna get your legs. So what they'll do is they'll face each other and try to bite each other's legs. And Shrek is really good at this game because he'll just lay down. They can't get his legs, he's all the way on the ground.
Have you only got one donkey?
We have another one as well. So we have Shrek and Fiona.
Oh, that's right.
Shrek is still intact, so he needs to stay over here with the boys until he's no longer intact. We have him scheduled, I believe, for next month. We always joke that you can tell a horse to do anything, but you have to ask the donkey. So we're taking time and getting him comfortable in the vet room before we take him in there for his surgery.
I'm hoping he turns back around, so.
Yes, his face is very cute. Shreky! Breakfast time. So we've got them eating all the way over there because we're introducing them to hopefully their new friend Clancy, who's on the other side. He is also another adoption return that we've gotten recently. And Shrek is going over there to his buddy Byron. Byron came from New Mexico. He was found feral over there on the reservation. And then Mr. Tough, who's got his butt facing towards us as well, came back with Bug and Lexi. The three of them were adopted out, so they were returned together as well. And Byron and Tough are both in our riding program. We've been riding both of them, and they're doing great.
Look, the one that looks like it's about skin. What the one?
On the other side of the fence,
What is his name?
Clancy.
And what's his story?
So he was adopted out, but due to some financial struggles, he was returned. He actually has an old stifle injury, so he is just a pasture pal.
Okay.
No, you were saying this one over here that's still his butt facing us.
Yep.
He was a wild horse.
Yes.
There's still herds of wild horses. Right?
Yes.
Right?
So there's a difference between wild and feral.
Oh, okay.
He came from what is considered a feral herd on the reservation that just comes from people turning their horses out over the past 50 years.
Yeah.
And then the horses just breed and their numbers have gotten out of control. Whereas Bramble is considered to come from a wild herd, which is a designated area with an HMA. And that herd has just been there for a very long
And they're all
time.
Mustangs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these were just the Indians tearing them out or other people turning them out, and then they just kept breeding.
A lot of feral herds have really grown in the recent years just due to the prices of hay and other financial struggles.
Okay.
So they've been growing quite a bit. So we had another horse here. His name was Perrin, and he was actually found just walking on the sidewalk in Colorado City, and no one ever claimed him. He was really skinny, so we got him, and we just recently adopted him out to be a kid's horse. He was sweet as a button. We'll loop over here and check these boys out.
So when I know I read when somebody at the adoption fee is cheap, that it's the mileage that's isn't it like 20 cents a mile or something to get them to the...
So we offer transport if people are interested, but a lot of people do come and pick them up themselves.
So the ones that have been returned.
We can just go get them.
That's what I was asking.
Yep.
If they're already having conversations.
Yeah, we don't charge them.
Okay.
Yeah, we're...
This one's a beauty.
Yes, this is Clint. He also came from that neglect case as well.
Really?
And this is Mr. Leroy Brown. He raced in his younger years. He is a thoroughbred, and he won over $100,000. And Clint here, he's also a Mustang. You can kind of, the shadow's kind of tough, but you can see that he's got the brand on the left side of his neck right there. And that's an identification brand. It shows where he came from, how old he is, and his identification number.
Okay.
So basically it's a bunch of different triangles facing different ways that mean different numbers, and those numbers mean different things, and that's how they get it.
Do they microchip horses?
So we do offer that, but most horses are not microchipped. Most horses are branded.
So what, I forgot already, was he wild or a feral?
He was wild.
He was a wild.
Yep, so if they have the brand on their neck,
They're
then
wild.
they're wild.
Okay.
So why was it?
So he was born in the wild, and then
okay.
I'm sure someone adopted him, and later down the line, he ended up at the facility that we got him from.
Oh, so they branded him.
So the BLM, so Bureau of Land Management, when they take them off the range, that's when they get branded.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's currently over 74,000 Mustangs in holding pens.
Okay.
Really, waiting for
Waiting for someone to adopt them.
74,000?
So when you say like how old and all that, that's just a guesstimate then?
No, his identification number shows all of that. So on his brand, on his neck,
See it
and his
on his neck?
paperwork,
Oh, but
So-
yeah, but if he was in the wild previous.
they checked his teeth.
Oh, so
Yep.
yes. It's kind
So
of like
these
dogs.
wild horses, there's just too many of them, and so that's why BLM culls them and then
Yeah, they
brings
bring
them
them
to
into the
facility.
holding facility.
So on the holding facility, since it's 74,000, how long did they hold? Did they euthanize?
From my understanding, they just keep them until they
I mean, how do you take care of
Feed them. Yeah, how do you
74,000?
feed them?
taxes.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, your taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
go
just
to it.
wondering if they had a certain amount of time and then they go, okay, it's been
No,
5
they keep
years.
them.
They do
They
keep
keep
them.
them. The way it's set up is it's $125 to be able to adopt a Mustang from the holding facility, and a lot of the times, if the horse is over 12 years old, it's a cheaper fee.
Yeah, and none of those horses, of course, are broke or anything.
Yeah,
So they're wild.
unhandled. A lot of horses, like if they round up a lot of mares, sometimes they're born in the holding facility, so those horses are a little more accustomed to the humans wandering
So
around.
74,000. I'm just trying to think.
So do they
a
fix
lot.
them? They fix them when they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they'll geld the stud horses
But not
when
the
they come in,
mares.
not the mares.
So I'm just trying to picture this. Where is it located?
There are a
All
ton
over.
of different
Oh,
horses.
okay. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
picture.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
this one has 20 horses
Yeah.
in it. That one has 20, and that
Yeah.
one has 20. I mean, I'm trying to picture 74,000 horses. Where do you
All
put-
over the country.
All
Yeah.
over the country.
Yeah,
Okay.
they ship them back east. They're everywhere.
Okay.
So this is Woodrow and his buddy Lucky, and then Miss T is on the left. Miss T is also a thoroughbred, but she was never raced because she's a little lazy. All of these horses have been rode. Woodrow and Lucky are now considered pasture pals. They have some lameness going on, but Miss T is available for adoption as a riding horse. She just likes to cruise along at a slow speed.
So he has to keep shoes on.
Yes. Yep, we have quite a few horses here that face a lot of different types of lameness, and they're all a little bit different. Some of them have navicular, some of them have things in their knees, but he gets around pretty well. So these three girls over here are also part of that neglect case that we got in last fall. They're going through the taming process as well. We've been able to get a halter on one of them, and we've just kind of been getting them used to people. They're also very food motivated. They're big girls. We get a ton of surrenders. I would say we probably get sometimes 20 dog surrenders a day. It doesn't cost anything, because, you know, life happens sometimes.
Right, I just
But
didn't
you have
know
to
on the
be from
horses.
Utah. Nope.
Really?
Nope. With our horses, what we do is a little different than dogs and cats. With our horses, we try to not take in horses that are over a day's drive, as it can be pretty difficult on a lot of the older horses. But, like, you know, Byron's from New Mexico, and they're all kind of from different
Now, this
places.
is Fiona.
This is Fiona and Lucky the mule. So Fiona is not as far in the taming process as Shrek. We've just been able to start getting a halter on her. And then Lucky, she's a little old lady. She's our only mule on site, and a mule is a cross between a horse and a donkey. Lucky came in with her brother Fiero, and they had lived together. They were actually together their whole lives. Unfortunately, he did pass away, so Lucky's just living her life out here. She is what we consider a pasture pal. Yesterday, we did cross their other pasture mate, Curly Sue. So we have these two in here for a little while longer, and then we'll probably add another horse in here with them.
So how old was that one? Well, I'm just curious of what was going on.
So Curly Sue, she was actually inbred. She had almost everything genetically wrong with her, as you can imagine. One of the main reasons why we decided to cross her is she had severe arthritis in her neck, and she was starting to really struggle getting up on her own. And the other day, we figure she had laid down overnight and hadn't been able to get up. And so she did suffer from an edema on her neck. And so we decided, going into the winter months, that it was best to cross her for her own safety and well-being.
So where are your horses?
Buried?
Yeah.
They
What
are
direction?
buried down, we call it Angel's Pasture, which is across from the Welcome Center.
Oh, okay.
So, and when we do cross our animals, we do it in the corrals with them so that their pasture mates are able to come say goodbye to
That's
them.
what I did. So.
Yep. On average, we try to keep 4 to 2 horses in a paddock. We do have a number of pastures up and down the road
Yeah,
that are like grass pastures. We have quite a few of them that are in rest this year to let the grass can recover some more. This is Snickers. He is a retired big funny pony.
Oh.
He is blind in one eye, so he's our one-eyed wonder. And then
Just eating on the.
yes, so they get mush, and they tend to knock over their mush, so he's trying to find any scrap that he can possibly find.
So how old is he?
He's in his late 20s. He's a pretty cute boy. He tries to be the boss of this herd in here. Between these 3 horses, there's only 3 eyeballs in here. So Helen, she is blind. And then little Joe, he just has arthritis in his front right knee. And he's a little old man. He was recently surrendered to us. And so he'll just be here. Most likely, since he does have quite a bit of maintenance, the chances of him getting adopted out are pretty low.
Why was he surrendered? Because of his arthritis?
He just has a lot
Take care
of health stuff going on. Yep, I would say a lot of our surrenders that we do get, people have had their horses the whole life, but as they age, they're unable to provide the care for them.
How many horses do you have on site?
We currently have 50. And we'll go up
How
here.
many can you manage here?
Ideally, we are aiming for 45. We've been over capacity for a pretty long time. And we do have a wait list, but like little Joe had been on our wait list for a couple years.
Wow.
Touch, the older horse that passed away this year, she had been on our wait list. So we just kind of like, oh, is it emergency wait list, and kind of funneled them in with that. We do have space for horses, but we don't have the caregivers and the care for if we got more. We'll zip over this way and we'll look at the babies. So there was a mare and foal, and they're over there on the other side, kind of hiding behind that tree.
see
We
the
won't go
little
get close to them,
Yeah.
but they were stranded on a beach at Lake Powell with no access to food. We believe that the foal was actually born on the beach. And so between the Park Service, the Navajo Nation, and us, we were able to do a rescue mission to bring them here. And then these horses were also part of that neglect case. 3 of the mares did end up, and so 3 of the mares were pregnant.
I didn't see
One
that.
of the mares and foals were actually transferred to another sanctuary with their Uncle Carson. So they were transferred to a sanctuary that kind of specializes in horses that need more space. They've got over 3,000 acres.
So is this foal belongs to this one?
Yes.
And
Yep.
then
The foal in the back belongs
almost
to that
looks
little
like a
palomino.
palomino.
Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
See, that's what I didn't even see that. I was trying to go there to get a picture.
Awesome. Well, we can head over this way, and if you guys are interested in going to the horsemanship demo, that is where I will leave you guys.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you
interesting.
guys for coming.